Hello, eRank, and we're live. It's a
No,
Thursday
even.
again. Starla's having a she's that side. Starla's having a different look today.
Went a little bit more gray. I just wanted to see how that would work out. Took out my piercing because it just wasn't working for me.
You should totally get piercings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
for everyone
Debbie.
who doesn't know, this is Bryan. You've probably
Bryan.
met him in some of the forums and groups. He's super helpful there, and yeah, he's joining us to answer all your eRank and Etsy related questions.
Just to give a different perspective. Same perspective, just different voice.
Well, exactly. It's pretty good, but the bad thing that we tend to agree on quite a lot of things, myself, Starla, and Bryan, because we're all talking together, and
we're all basing it on the exact same factual data, and so we're going to say the same things.
Exactly, that's it. Unfortunately, there's not very many secrets, and yeah, if they were, we'd have told you them anyway. So yes,
that is true.
I'm terrible at secrets. Yes.
We're gonna start the show with a cat.
We've got visitors again.
I'm talking from another room, so they like to.
Oh yeah, they think it's something to do with them.
It must be them. Who else would I be talking to?
I had to train my dogs when I had them, because literally if I'm sitting in the house by myself and I start talking, it had to be to do with them. So my boy would start an excited howl. And he's like, I'm live, can we not? Like, we're going for a walk or something must be happening. Like, no, really not.
Oh, a lot of hello. Hey, Leanne. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Emma. Hey, Anna. Hey, Irene. Hey, Amy. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Speedbird Heavy. Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are.
Looks like we've got a few people in, which is awesome. Today is our Q&A session, so if you have any questions about anything Etsy or eRank related, we had a post in the Facebook group. Every week I put up a post there where you put in your early bird questions, and I believe Bryan had a post in his group as well, so we can probably pick questions from each of them, and then we'll get to the questions in the chat if you have any. I hope so, because otherwise we'll be talking about Bryan's fashion sense and stuff, which is way better than me.
I have none, so that won't be a long conversation. Hey, Esther. Hey, Britt. Hey, Susanna. Hey, Mac Wildcat. Hey, Momo Jersey. Hey, Linda. Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Kat.
I've so done that as well. I'm so getting used to Zoom calls that I just waved back. I've done that, or the other thing I do on Starla's streams every Friday when she's demoing something and talks about something, I've tried to scroll down my screen to get a look at something that she just did. It's like, that's not me.
It's always the danger of being full screen is you feel like it's your screen at one point.
Exactly. It's like, how dare you not let me look at the bit I want to look at right now?
Hey, second Sharon. Every Sharon is on that side of the ocean. Weird.
Yeah.
Very common name.
It's a common name, but actually Bryan is the common name over here. Not spelt like you, but just about everyone I know is called Bryan.
Interesting. I don't know another single Bryan, so it's just over there. It's not really over here. Weird.
We had a thing. We had so many. You know about the Spice Girls over there? It's a bit dated thing. The Spice Girls were a band. Yep, the girl group.
Yeah, of course.
Yep, different personality.
Internationally,
I thought they were. Well, we had so many Bryans with different personalities that I made the Spice Bryans. So we had a baby Bryan and a scary Bryan and a ginger Bryan. We had them all.
And I'm just the old Bryan.
Oh, no, you're younger than all of the Bryans. It's fine.
Yay.
Right, I suppose we should dive into some of the questions. We can go off topic for the entire hour, but
Or could.
From the Facebook group, we have 3 questions, I think. So Abigail, first of all, asked, in addition to my Etsy shop, I'd like to try Go Imagine. I'd like to put my best foot forward there and use my best listings to start. Must I make entirely new listings so they don't replicate? Would they need to be different photographs and descriptions? I'd like to try Go Imagine, but I don't want to get my Etsy shop shut down.
You are
actually,
lucky.
yeah, we just found out about this today. I posted in the Facebook group about the Etsy transparency report, and there is a little line in that somewhere that says I'm sure you're talking about the duplicate system, where last week Josh mentioned that they were automatically going to be taking down duplicate listings that they see in places like, and he mentioned Alibaba or whatever Ali site it was. And in the transparency report, I can't remember the exact words, but it mentions it's mass producing sites. It's going to be sites like that. They're not going to be looking at something like Go Imagine. It's the problematic sites, as reading between the lines. So shouldn't be an issue, and you shouldn't be getting shut down if you've got your own listings duplicated on your own website or something. AliExpress, that's the words I was looking for. Thank you, Speedy Bird.
Temu, all the Chinese mass produced kind of wholesale type sites.
Yes, that's it. The problematic places that are known to steal Etsy images, or the other way around, that people are known to drop ship from. So I don't think Go Imagine has a problem with people it's never been mentioned as a massive problem with people drop shipping from there onto Etsy. So
yeah. So if you're on any other marketplace as well, other than those big, more Asian ones, if you're on Amazon Handmade, if you're on Depop, if you're on anything else, it's perfectly fine to have the exact same images, same titles, same everything. You will not be penalized for it. There's no problems there whatsoever.
Excellent. Do you have a question from your group you want to try? Or
let's see. What are your thoughts on duplicating listings with different tags, titles to expand the target audience? It's good to duplicate listings if you're doing testing. If you're doing like an A/B test, which keywords work better, which titles work better, which title formats work better, not just the words in it, but which words work in which location better, like in that Goldilocks zone, the very beginning characters, what's the best thing to put in there? It's great to A/B test, but just to have 2 completely exact same listings just to change the tags and leave it like that doesn't really benefit you, because you don't gain anything when you get a sale. So if one listing sells, it's going to be boosted, but the other one isn't. So the exact same listing is actually lower in search while the other one's going up, instead of one listing getting the benefit from all the sales.
yeah, you're not hurt from having a listing that's not making any sales. It's just not doing anything. So yeah, I think that's kind of a myth that you need to have 100 listings. You need to, I've heard people talk about you need to list 100 listings a day. You definitely do not.
Recently. That is crazy. How many listings are you going to have in your shop? You're open for a year, you have 365,000 listings.
Yeah, that really adds up, doesn't it, for the listing fees? Yeah, but listing fees, that's going to get pretty expensive.
That's $20 a day. 100 listings is $20 US a day.
Yep. But then it's going to start compounding as they
don't sell in every 4 months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you don't need lots of listings. Yeah, I used to, because I sort of believed that when I started. I remember people would say you need to have 100 listings, and I was like, but I make everything handmade, and it takes up to weeks to make one thing. I can't have 100 listings. But over time I built up, and a few years ago I had about 400 listings, and then I let it was tough, but I let all the ones that weren't selling just expire. And do you know what that did to my traffic on Etsy? Not a single thing. It made no difference whatsoever. So.
Also, you did a video about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, about a shop that had over 4,500 sales with 6 listings. And sometimes
Yep.
when you checked it, there was like 4 listings. And he, like, I think recently I looked at his shop and he had like 12 listings, and he has over 6,000 sales now. So the number of listings doesn't matter. The quality of the listings and how you promote yourself elsewhere as well does a lot better than just having a store full of stuff, because then you can't find what you're looking for, or the customer can't find what they're looking for. And one problem that I have with duplicated listings is when you're looking through a shop and you see a bunch of the exact same listings, you assume that they're different. And so now the customer's wasting time jumping between listings to see what's different. And any time spent not purchasing is time they're spending going back to search to see what else there is.
Very true.
So that's kind of a dangerous line to play with.
Yeah, that's something I do need to tidy up in my shop, because I'm always running wee tests, so I've got too many listings again. But yeah, do as I say, not as I do with those things.
I say the exact same thing. I think I have over 350 listings right now, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
I think that's the thing with really busy shops, which I'm not, but you are. But when you go and look at some of the really busy shops, a lot of the time they're probably too busy to be worrying about these listings that aren't doing well. They probably likely have some really terrible listings in there, but it doesn't matter because they're busy dealing with the loads of customers they have. So, that's also more important.
Just having listings that don't sell, that doesn't hurt your shop whatsoever, and that's still more opportunity for people to come to your shop. Even if they're not buying that item, they might come because of that item and then purchase something else. So that's why those larger shops don't really worry about that kind of thing, and don't worry as much about SEO, because there's so many other factors. SEO is great to get found in search, but there's so many other places to be found.
Absolutely. Right, second question from the eRank Facebook group. How often should we list new items? Is it better to list all together or space them out? That is the $1 million question. The simple answer is, if they're not listed, they can't sell. However, my feeling is generally depends on the size of your shop. Like if you're someone huge with a big social media following, you can sort out a range. You can say, next Monday, I'm going to list all of these type of things, and when they're gone, they're gone, and you list them all at once and they sell out, and that's great. If you're not so big and you're relying entirely on SEO, I personally prefer to sort of drip feed them out, because Etsy has told us you get a boost in search for a new listing, and that boost does seem to last maybe about a day, less in a really busy category, really busy search term. So I like to list one, let it get its chance to get seen in search, list the next one. Don't wait too long, but I like to personally space them out. But there's no right or wrong, I don't think.
And a lot of it will depend on the type of product you're selling and who you're selling to, how many listings you have to list, if stuff is already ready, or if you still need to take all the photos and create all the listings, because all that takes time. So for a lot of shops, I do recommend drip feeding. Just when something's available, you promote it, you get it out there, you do what you can. For larger shops or shops that are releasing a lot of like items, like in my shop, every 3 months we do a drop, and we're listing 15, 20 new items, because then we can build up hype for those items. And they're usually seasonal. They're usually based on a holiday that's coming up, or a season that's coming up, or something. But they're all similar items. So doing a big drop of similar items definitely does better than drip feeding for products like ours. But for a lot of shops, drip feeding is actually better, and just listing what you have ready, because you can't sell what isn't online.
Yeah, it's a good point as well.
Yeah,
it takes its time, doesn't it, to create a listing. You've got to make the item, do the SEO, take the photos. You might batch out a load of photos, but even creating your listing takes a bit of time. So unless you are specifically planning, like Bryan's trained his followers that big drops are happening, unless you've trained your following, then there's really no benefit to dropping them all out at once if you don't have that following.
Yeah,
So,
I guess that's actually
yeah.
a good point right there, is if you have a following, doing launches or product drops is a lot bigger because you have the audience that's eating that up. If you don't have a large following on social media, so when you put something out there, you're not really getting that much attention, so you're relying more on Etsy search. That's when drip feeding is a lot better, because SEO is what you're going after. And dropping 10 listings or 20 listings at once doesn't really benefit you as far as SEO goes. So if you're just relying on Etsy SEO, dropping a single listing every couple days or every day or whatever it is perfectly fine. If you do have a huge following, then you might want to do more of a launch type situation, just because you're talking to more people at once and you can hype it up to a lot more people.
Yeah, I think that's the thing with any question, is the answers always depend on so many, because every shop is different, so everyone's strategy is going to be different. It's very different what you can do when you have a huge following or any following. I mean, I know when I first got up to enough people are following my shop and I listed something and it sold straight away, it's like, oh, that's nice. But
And
you have to get
following. A huge following is also very specific and different for each shop as well, or each brand or each anything, because someone that's selling something very niche or very specific and they only have 100 followers, that could actually be a huge following for that type of item, versus a different item. If you're selling stickers, then you might need 10,000 or 100,000 followers to really grab steam and grab hype with those types of items. So it varies in many different ways.
Absolutely. Yeah.
There's definitely
That's
no like,
everyone
this is what you have to do. There's no
Yeah.
guide in that sense.
There's no answer, and that's the difficult thing. You have to choose what's best for you. And
Yeah,
it'll
and most of
change
that is
with
just
your shop.
testing. Most of it is trying it, seeing what works. Does dropping 5 items work better than dropping 15 items? Does listing 1 item a week for the next week do better than dropping all 7 at once? Like, what works best for your shop? Just try things. There's no harm that you can do, so you might as well try them, because then you know what to do for the next time and the next time and the next time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Do you have any more from your group? I didn't actually look and see what we had there.
I'm not going to eRank. It still confuses me, and somewhat I'm wondering, what are the most important features on eRank that you think everyone should be using? And actually, Deb responded to that saying that on May 1st, you did a quick tour of the eRank tools that you thought might be helpful, and she linked the video on that one. So
Thank you, Deb.
the 2 tools that I use the most, especially when creating a listing, are the Listing Helper, which is the AI tool. And that will give you amazing. I use that mostly for the descriptions. The titles, it never really speaks in my voice, so I might pick and pluck from that. But the descriptions are phenomenal. And then the tag ideas are great too, and can lead you to just some things that you would have never thought of. So I love the Listing Helper. And the other one that I use most often is the keyword tool, because that'll tell you how many people are searching for something, how many shops are using it, if that keyword is good in the country that you're trying to sell to, and so many other things. And it gives you so many great ideas of how to show off your item, not just on Etsy, but also words to use for your social media that you would have just never thought of, like niche words that just escaped your brain because you're working on so many different aspects of your business at once. So those are the 2 tools that I use the most often.
Yeah, I was going to say keyword tool as well. I think it's a really big tool, and you've got to take your time to learn how to use it. But we've got tons of videos, we've done tons of lives, there's tons of help there. Definitely keyword tools great. And as Bryan said, for social media as well. Remember, we do the keywords for Pinterest and all sorts of things in there, so that's handy. Now let me think a second one. I love the AI helper. That's really cool for thinking outside the box. Keyword lists, I definitely use all the time just to quickly save them. I forget I'm using them because you're just literally clicking that little gold star and that just saves it to a list. So keyword lists are basically my replacement for, I've always got notebooks, branded note, but I've always got notebooks all over the place filled with nonsense. So it stops some of the nonsense. But right there,
I love the sales competition tool. I don't necessarily use it the way that it's meant to be used, I guess. About a quarter of my list is actual competitors just to see how my niche is doing, all that type of stuff. And then the other 3/4 are friends and family and everyone else who's selling, because when I love watching people hit milestones and then congratulate them when I see it.
Yeah, same.
But
that's
the sales
nice.
competition, yeah. But the sales competition tool is great to see if your niche is down. Not just to see how are my competitors doing, but also are their sales down at the same time that mine are? Because that answers a lot of the questions. Where'd the sales go? Is it just my store? Did Etsy delist my store? And you'll be able to tell really quickly if your niche is down or if just you're down.
Yep. Oh, I've got my second one is the traffic stats tool. This is our this is our integration with Google Analytics, which is so good because about 50% of the time just now when I'm looking in my ads, I can't see the keywords I'm being found for. That bit of the ads isn't working. But if you've connected up to your Google Analytics, then eRank will tell you. And hopefully we've got some other things we'll be adding to that, because I just discovered the other day, I don't know if you saw this, Brian, but we can find out if our listings have been found in gift mode, which is huge at the minute in time. So I just did a video on Pam Duthie, my own channel, for how to find it through your Google Analytics, because it takes the team at eRank a little time to make something into a tool. And I was like, right, so if anyone's connected up to Google Analytics, I've got a reasonably step-by-step of how to find what I'm doing. But Google Analytics is really complicated. But yeah, so hopefully things like this we'll be able to add to eRank. But at the minute, traffic stats just for finding those keywords, what you're actually being found for and stuff. It's just easier than getting them on Etsy when Etsy's glitching, for sure.
Well, and since the traffic stats tool dropped, I find myself on Google Analytics proper a lot less. I might go there for demographics to find age and gender and that type of stuff, but I'm not even looking at keywords on there because it's all in the traffic stats now, and it's laid out in a way that you can actually read it versus Google, where they need to work
Google
on that.
Analytics is tough.
Yeah.
I literally, I confess this, I've done some videos on Google Analytics and they're for me, because every time I go back into Google Analytics, it's like, what do I want to click on? Watch one of my old videos. Like that's me. That's all the views on them. That's just me. It's like to remind myself, because it is so complicated. So,
yeah.
yes.
The old version was not as complicated. The new version is just, it's tough. And that's why traffic stats is absolutely phenomenal.
Yep. Cool, right. I think we've got one last question in the Facebook group. That's Christine. In fact, it ties into this. Yes, sort of. I'd like your thoughts on sections in light of gift mode. Would having them set up, having your section set up for gift for mum, gift for pets, be more helpful with search, or breaking it down to product groups such as mugs, keychains, wallets, or totally no weight? Yeah, good question. Your sections in your shop. Etsy hasn't told us much about this, but all I can say is digging into my Google Analytics and seeing which of my listings were being found in which gift mode. It was in dog lovers persona, and I don't have a section for dog lovers. I have it in one of my tags and in my title. So I don't know where Etsy are getting the idea to put things into gift mode, but I'm guessing it's not sections.
No, I highly doubt that it's going to be sections, just because they can be anything. Sections will help people when they're coming to your shop. So if people are coming to your shop specifically for gifts for mom or gifts for dog, that's where sections really, really thrive. But it won't help you in search results, and it won't help you with gift mode. Yeah, it won't directly help with those. It'll just indirectly help when people actually come to your shop, so that they can more easily sort through what you have on offer.
Yeah, we're still trying to learn about gift mode, all of us. So
it seems like
and
Etsy is too.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is I don't think Etsy's finished how they're dealing with it yet. It's a new tool that they've put out, and they're looking to improve it as well. So
yeah.
It's the wild west.
So that's all the questions that I have.
Cool. Right. So let's check out this chat. Okay. So we've got, please clear up this situation. It concerns the statistics of number of searches. 1 month it's 1,100 searches. Many following months it's 0. Oh, on like the keyword tool, our estimated search volumes. Customers are weird. Etsy promotes things on its homepage, and when people click to them, that populates a search page that we believe sort of shows up in our data as people searching, because it kind of is, but Etsy have helped them.
And Google search is the exact same way. If they find something through Google search and it goes to a marketplace page, those marketplace pages are actually search results as well.
Yep. Yeah, so there's a lot going on. And also bear in mind that our search volumes, as we always say, are only estimated search volumes. So the way stats and the things work is you can't say that it's exactly 1,100 searches. It's around there. So it might not be a massive difference, but on 1 month, the amount of people in our panel actually searching for something, they might just be searching less. So it's statistically significant, but there's a little bit of wiggle room. So yeah, don't be looking at it thinking exactly 1,000 people searched for that keyword.
And 0 also doesn't mean 0. It doesn't mean that nobody has ever searched for it on Etsy for that month. That just means nobody in the panel. I'm not sure how large the panel is. I know it's in the millions, but there's 96 million active buyers on Etsy. And we're not polling every single one of them, because Etsy's not the one that shares that data, unfortunately. So we don't know what every single person is searching for. So there's going to be some level of variance, which is why we do show the average.
Yep, exactly. So Jessica, thank you, is keeping in with the Facebook group, saying someone asked, where has the links download page gone? I assume, I'm thinking that it'll be in our listing audit. I think I can pull up a screen. Let me know if this isn't what you're talking about, whoever asked this. But if we go to listing optimization, listing audits, I could well be going into the wrong place. See, every time I do a demo, my computer's running so slow that it's really annoying. Come on, are you going looking? Come on.
It has to render the camera. It has to do all of the other things that
I know we're asking it to do a lot. But it's never like this normally. So okay, so yes, so in the columns you can, I've got just about everything up now.
Listing URL is down at the bottom.
Got it. Yep. So you just have to check this box to make sure that you see the listing URL. Come on. And then it'll be on that page, which you can't actually see just now because everything's collapsed down because I'm trying to make things big enough for you to be able to see. But yeah, so it's in listing optimization, listing audits. If that wasn't the page you were looking for, let us know. But yes, you can now customize that to show all the data that's important to you.
Yeah.
I can't read and talk at this. See, Style is so much better at this than me.
I'm a digital seller. I'm a digital seller. Jillian said, I'm a digital seller, and I truly believe GoImagine needs to not allow digitals and drop shipping. Unfortunately, I'm in Canada. Pam is in Scotland. And GoImagine is just US. So I can't answer that question. I don't believe Pam has an answer either. My understanding, just because I do watch the stats and everything, is drop shipping has not hit GoImagine yet. They're not large enough for the scammers to hit there either, and that kind of thing. But it's only a matter of time. As they grow, they're going to want to expand into digital. They're going to want to expand into other fields, and hopefully the drop shipping does not hit GoImagine, because that would not be pretty.
Absolutely agree. Yes. Unfortunately, as Brian says, we can't really look at it. I see Sharon's asking further down, what is GoImagine? It is an alternative to Etsy, but in the US only. Starla's been looking into this, and we've been talking to the GoImagine head. We're just wanting to see what the little sites are. The littler, that sounds really patronizing. I didn't mean it like that.
They've only been around for a couple of years, so they're not as large as Etsy is yet, but they are one of the big up and comers.
Yep. They definitely sound and look pretty good, and they're about in Starla's group to answer any questions, and they might even pop into the eRank group, so you'll be able to ask them questions. And from what I've seen, they seem very open to everyone's feedback, to be saying, we really don't want your platform to become this. I think they'll totally understand that.
Yep. Lori M has a technical thing with eRank. She said, I added my second shop to eRank to see the information on how it shows, etc. eRank is showing an option to upgrade. I already have the $9.99 per month plan, which is the pro plan. Do I need to upgrade more for the full info? No, that's a little bug that they're aware of right now. I have that as well. It says upgrade plan, even though I have an upgraded plan. They are looking into that as to why that is showing.
Yeah, we do have, if anyone needs it, we do have an expert plan, which is the next one up. But really, that would be if you have a massive amount of listings and stuff. It gives you more listings you can look at, more data and everything. But yes, it sounds
or
more
a massive
like
amount of shops, or if you're a coach, so you just need more searches per day. There's a few reasons to switch over to expert. The pro plan covers basically everybody, and it shouldn't say upgrade plan in the bottom left corner there, but for some people it currently is, and that is being looked into.
Yep. Yeah, so sorry about that. Yeah. It's not really a question, but Ruth Marie's just saying she does printables, and people are saying you need 300 listings. No.
No.
I think we can.
Yeah, it's just one of those myths out there that that someone gave that advice and everybody ran with it. It's big corporate advice more than it is little Etsy shop advice. And yeah.
I will say, when there was a point many years ago, what actually happened in my shop that it really took off was my work got accepted in a gallery, and they wanted 35 sculptures in 2 weeks. I didn't sleep. That was tough. So while I was making those sculptures and sending them to the gallery, I was taking pictures of them. And because my work's custom, that meant I had 35 different breeds of dog that I could make. And then I was able to say, custom Labrador, custom Jack Russell. And that helped because I was able to test all those different types of keywords and find what people really want. So there is something in testing the slightly different things, because I'd started with my shop and I was like, custom dog sculpture, any breed. Nobody searches for any breed, they search for their breed. So doing this gave me the ability to target. So having one listing in my shop probably wouldn't have worked for me, but having 300, 500 is unnecessary. I just need to know what dogs people are searching for.
And I feel like for your shop, that would not have worked for you either, having that many listings that people would have to go through. They wouldn't be able to find what they were looking for.
It totally can overdose it, as it were. People will often come in and see one breed that they like and say, do you also do this breed? I'm like, yes, here you go.
Yeah, you don't want to overcomplicate things or make organization just completely off the wall, because if people can't find what they're looking for, they're already on a marketplace that has hundreds of millions of listings. They'll find what they're looking for, and they're not going to put in the effort to look through your shop for it. So too many listings can be a bad thing as well.
Yeah, Sharon, I've got dash hounds. I just have 2 dash hounds to photograph. Just hang on. Yay. I literally have dash hounds to photograph just now. Again, not a question, but I really like this. You guys look like you're broadcasting from a funky nightclub.
It kind of looks like on this seam right here, it looks like they're almost joined.
I know your shelf and that's actually the bottom of the loft bed. That's holding the bed together. This is a loft bed because it really I can hang mics and stuff from the underside of the bed. But yes, it lines up. Sorry?
It's better than grip stands.
Absolutely. Yes.
Funky nightclub.
Oh, that's so sad though. This is my only night out now. And we'll get blocked if we put music on. And I think we'd probably lose a good number of you if we put on music that we're going to like. So.
Also, I don't think we like the same type of music. So there's that too.
There could well be that, yes.
Ruth Marie Hicks asks, how do listings that don't sell affect how Etsy sees your site? Does this result in a low overall conversion rate that hurts your shop? Some gurus say under 2 conversion will bury the shop. So your overall conversion rate means nothing. How a specific listing converts for a specific search term, that's the only conversion rate that actually matters. So if you have listings that don't do well, they're actually not really impacting your conversion rate at all because nobody's looking for them, but they don't have any impact whatsoever on your shop. If you go viral, so you have hundreds of thousands of people come into your shop, that'll drop your conversion rate down to 0.001. That also has no impact on your shop, or at least no negative impact in your shop. So you don't have to worry about that. The overall conversion rate, that's more of a stat for you than it is for anything else. So the answer is no.
Yeah. Exactly. And even as a stat for you, as Bryan said, if you get a big influx of traffic, your conversion rate might change in a negative way, but you'll be getting more sales. I think Bryan's just gone viral. I went viral on Instagram a while ago. A big TV celebrity had one of my items bought for her. And she posted about it on Instagram, and I woke up to a lot of sales. But I also woke up to a lot of people. I think my conversion went down to about 0.2%. But I was making sales, I was getting reviews, I was doing all the good stuff. So my shop did really good for a while after that.
And those are the things that matter, is sales and favorites, views, all that. That's really all that matters. Like any positive things impact your shop. The negative things, unless they're negative reviews, do not impact your shop whatsoever.
Yeah. If anyone tells you any exact number for anything, number of listings, conversion, anything, they're wrong. They're making stuff up. Because my shop, as Bryan says, the only conversion that matters is for that listing under that exact keyword. And my listings under a certain keyword might do well at a different conversion to what Bryan's listings under a different keyword are, because different items, different listings, different times of the day, different countries, different niches, everything has a slightly different conversion. So that number is not fixed in stone.
I have a couple listings that their conversion rate of just that listing is just above 1%, but for certain search terms, it's over 80%.
Wow. Yeah.
So it all depends on the keyword. That's what matters the most. That's what actually impacts how the listing does, is how it does for that search term. Because a listing sells anytime someone searches for it, it's going to fly up in the search rankings. If nobody's buying it, it's going to drop down, but it's not going to impact where for the keyword that it is selling for.
Yeah, absolutely. 80%. Wow.
Oh, it's crazy.
So we've got a question from Mac Wildcat. Do you recommend running ads right away for a brand new shop with no following? Ads are gambling. Ads are going into the casino. You could do well with ads. You're probably not going to do well with ads.
Until you've established how people are searching for your listings and who the target audience is and who the target audience ends up being, just throwing money into ads will likely not help whatsoever, especially Etsy ads, where you're going to pay between 20 and 80 cents per click. And it still takes that 50 to 100 clicks to potentially get a sale. That's just the average conversion rate of 1 to 2%. And so you will end up spending a lot of money before you even figure out how to read the stats on Etsy and even understand the stats for the ads. So a lot of the time it's better to let it sit organically for a couple months, just watch videos and learn as much as you can before you start throwing money into ads. Because it's very possible that Etsy ads might not even work well for you, but Facebook ads or Instagram ads or TikTok ads might be the better option, but you won't know that until you've seen what the landscape is of Etsy first.
Yeah. If you have a good understanding of SEO, say this was your third shop and you really knew what you were doing, maybe run Etsy ads because you understand what they're telling you. But yeah, when you first start out, this is a case of you don't know what you don't know. You're learning so much things. So you're probably just going to spend a lot of money on Etsy ads.
And it's not going to help you gain followers. It's not going to help you do anything. That's why extremely targeted ads on Facebook or Instagram actually do better if that's what you're looking for, is gaining that following, which will then turn into buyers and repeat buyers. But if you're just looking for that instant sale, then you can try ads, but they likely won't do much for you.
Yeah, and ads aren't, nowhere are ads are just turn on and forget them. As Bryan said, like targeted ads. So I wouldn't switch on Facebook ads until you've spent a good bit of time deep diving into how to actually use them.
Yeah.
Even like Facebook will throw up every now and again, we're giving you $10 free credit to spend in ads. You're not going to get anything from that.
No, again, not unless you learn how to deep target an audience so that you're literally showing that ad to the exact people that you want to see those ads. Otherwise, you're literally just throwing money away. Ads can get really expensive until you figure out kind of how to work them to your favor.
Exactly. Oh, here's a good one. Please say your thoughts on the length of titles. Some coaches say it should be as long as possible. Others say it should be short. Etsy also say it should be short. What's your opinion?
So my opinion might differ. I'm someone that does not like to keyword stuff a title. A title is for humans. And if you're just throwing every word in there, you now are likely to confuse your audience. Someone will go to the listing and they won't know if that rug that you handmade is for their home or for the dollhouse, because there's so many words in the title, it just gets confusing. And when people are confused, they click the back button. Using punctuation or delimiters helps, because then it kind of separates it a little bit into thoughts. But if you just have a splattering of words, just a wall of words, it looks very spammy. Like that's the type of thing you see on AliExpress and Temu and everything, because it's just trying to shove every keyword in there. But the title is for people. And that's why Etsy recommends a short and concise title. Because in search, people only see the first 26 characters on mobile and 40 something characters in a browser. So you only have a very limited amount of words to work with. So going larger doesn't help you. Having those words in the tags is where it makes a much bigger impact. What are your thoughts?
Mainly, I agree. I hate keyword stuff titles. I hate stuff that makes it look like you've come from AliExpress or something. But both types of titles do work just now, depending on your listing and your niche and whatever else. If you're selling high-end quality wedding dresses, it's probably best not to have a title that looks like you're from Temu. That's really going to cheapen you. But yes, for some listings, for some shops, it can help to have more keywords because you're getting seen for more keywords. But in the back of my head, I'm always thinking Etsy tells us to keep them short. So it's not penalizing for long just now, but who knows what the future.
They don't just say short, they say short and concise, because you want it to exactly describe what your item is to the best possible way that someone's going to understand it. Because again, it's for people.
Exactly. And you can get a whole load of keywords into your title without keyword stuffing. You see so many people, and it's like wedding ring, engagement ring, ring for her, gift for, and they're repeating words that you don't need to. You can turn all those keywords and make them into a nice, concise title that makes sense to people, that covers all the keywords but isn't keyword stuffing. But experiment and see. There's many ways to do titles that work just now.
And there's no wrong way. It's just there's certain things that are more consumer friendly.
Yeah, I think your point there, very much your title and your description are the things that are seen by the humans. And all your SEO, look, eRank's an SEO company, but we're here to help you sell. And SEO is a part of the puzzle. But the most important thing is people have to buy when they find you. So if your SEO is terrible, no one will ever find you. But if your SEO is good enough, but people really love what they see, they're going to buy, and your listing is going to do better everywhere because people love it. So think like the person as well, like
always
making
think like a
sense to
shopper.
the customer. Yeah, absolutely. Question for Bryan, yay, from Sharon. What sort of things do you feed in for the listing description AI to use? Relevant words, a couple of sentences?
I'll give 2 or 3 sentences just describing my product. Like if I was to describe these to somebody, that's what I would put in the AI toolbox. And then it's going to spit out all of the marketing speech, and it's just so just like come up with the description of how you would describe it to someone that doesn't know what that item is, and let it do the rest. You will not believe the stuff that it's going to spit out. I don't know how it does it, but it does amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool. But with the AI helper, for the listing helper, for everybody, double check it, turn it into your own words, look at what's relevant for you, because it only knows what we've given it and what it's been trained on. It's not perfect. It doesn't understand SEO, and AI isn't AI. It's not intelligent. It's a large language model. It doesn't do what we think it does, but it definitely helps. But just go, this is the idiot and we are the clever thing, it throws out some really cool ideas and we have to take them and run with them. Don't just wholesale copy everything it gives you.
Of course. You still want it to be in your own voice. You still want to use the same idioms and fix anything that it gets wrong, because it only knows so much. The item is not in the AI's hand.
This isn't a question, but throwing this up if Anthony's online or anyone else, but just saying thank you guys so much for making eRank affordable for everyone.
It is absolutely amazing. And I've been a member of eRank since 2019, August 2019, and it is amazing how much is given on free plan. And then once you start getting into the paid plans, the amount of data that you can see, the amount of shops that you can have on it, like it boggles the mind how much content there is for so little money. It's absolutely insane. And I'm not just saying that as someone who does work here and there for eRank. I'm saying that as like someone who uses eRank on a daily basis for my own shop. I only use tools that benefit me because I want my shop to be the best possible shop it can be. And eRank's one of the tools that I've used since almost the very beginning, because I started in April 2019. Like I started my shop in April 2019. I was on eRank in August 2019 and haven't stopped since.
Yep. I think I started using eRank in 2017. So yeah, that's Anthony only has us working here because we use eRank and we're talking about it and we're loving it. It's not the other way around.
It's true. And also it's 3:52 p.m. So we're here for about another 8 minutes. So if you have any more questions, throw them in. We're still scanning through to find any other questions, but
yep.
Throw in any last minute questions.
Okay. Susanna? I just saw it had a Q next to it, so I assume it's a question. When looking at the search trend for a particular keyword, sometimes there's no data across several months, a few months gap. Why? That's kind of similar to the other search trend question. It could be because it's a seasonal keyword. It could be because the data is so low that it doesn't take much for it to drop away. To, as Bryan said, 0 doesn't mean 0. It means we don't have enough confidence to say there's enough data to say a number, basically. It doesn't mean absolutely nobody's searching, but there's not enough. But yeah, quite often it's seasonal, basically. And data's a funny thing. And another one from Susanna. I just like saying your name. That's cool, Susanna. Is it true that driving our own traffic from Insta to Etsy will hurt our shop? There's one Etsy consultant who says that, but it doesn't make sense if driving that traffic results in sales. Sounds like you know more than this Etsy consultant, because yeah, it definitely doesn't hurt your shop. It wouldn't make sense. Right. Algorithms are expensive. They're expensive to program and run and all the thing. So Etsy only wants to put things into the algorithm that benefit it. Now, bringing in your own traffic from social media is a good thing for Etsy because it's free, that they haven't had to pay for somebody else to learn about Etsy. And if they come and buy from you, they could buy from other people. So that's a thing that they want to happen. So it makes no sense for them to spend time and money to program an algorithm to hurt themselves.
And Etsy's building, like every single click that somebody makes to Etsy or on Etsy, Etsy is gathering data. They're compiling all that, and that's where the personalization in search happens. So they're building profiles of every single person, so they wouldn't penalize you for helping them gather data. And this goes right back to the conversion rate, where conversion rate only matters for a specific listing for a specific search term in Etsy search. The rest of it doesn't really matter.
Yep. It definitely doesn't hurt. back in the day, I used to get tons of traffic from Pinterest, and it didn't hurt my shop in any way. It hurt my shop a whole load when the Pinterest algorithm changed, and I don't know why, but I don't get traffic from Pinterest anymore. Sharon, are either of you able to talk about having your Etsy shop items synced with your Facebook catalog? It doesn't seem to work anymore. We had questions on this in the Facebook group as well. It seems Etsy doesn't.
Yeah, since Facebook switched over to Meta, the catalog tool no longer works. You used to be able to have your catalog over there. Now you can't. You have to manually create all your listings on Facebook. And so people would be purchasing from Facebook, from like your shop on Facebook, instead of through Etsy. The reason they did that is because they were basically getting so much traffic to Etsy when they could be making a profit off each sale. So that is no longer a thing, unfortunately.
And I know it's a pain, but see all your social medias. It's social media. It's not marketing channel. I know we say do these things, but you're much better to work on building your following on social media and get people engaged and stuff. And then they'll go and find you. Like on eRank, I suppose, yeah, you can click to get to eRank, but that's not what we're focusing on the eRank Facebook group. We're focusing on having you on the eRank Facebook group talking to us.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's what social media is about.
Anything that takes people off of Facebook, Facebook tends to not like. And so they tend to get rid of those kinds of things, unfortunately.
Absolutely. How quickly does eRank catch on to new trends? For example, I'll search a keyword and it'll be low searched or non-existent, but then when you go on Etsy, that product may be in 20 carts. Difference between search terms and what people have in carts. eRank, if you look on our trends buzz, you can see the top keywords that were searched for as recently as yesterday. So immediately. However, an item might be in 20 carts doesn't mean those 20 people found it from search. As we said, SEO is part of the puzzle, but if Bryan's just he's just wound up his following and said, I'm doing my big drop in 2 days, and gets all of his audience to go over to Etsy and buy the stuff when he launches it, then he could have everything, things in hundreds of carts and not a single person's come from search. So that's not necessarily.
Also, there's many places that people come from. It's not just from social media. It's also the related items down below your listing. A lot of people on blogs and Reddit and stuff will share groups of favorites, because you can now put your favorites in a folder and share that folder. So these are like items. And so there's lots of places that people are coming from that aren't search, and it could be a random search term that you didn't even think of, that has that item in the cart. So there's no real way of knowing how it got there to know if a specific search term is trending.
Yeah,
those have no correlation to each other.
I'm just quickly looking for the last couple of questions. So sorry if I miss anyone.
Sharon asks, go ahead.
Oh,
Nadia says, having 2 Etsy shops, I'm thinking about to set one more up. If occasionally my third shop will be suspended by Etsy Robot, I'm afraid my first and second shops will be suspended as well. Am I correct? No, you are not correct. Suspensions will not impact your other shops. So if you have a shop that's brought down because you didn't fill in some information, or even if it's brought down for infringement and it's been suspended, a suspended shop will not impact your other shops. If your account is banned, that will impact all of your shops. Every single account that you have, a buyer and seller account, they will all be shut down. But a suspension does not impact your other shops.
Yeah, I know it's scary, but what he said, you're only going to lose your other shops if you are totally shut down, and you shouldn't be.
Sharon asks, is there? Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
no, it's fine. Laura says, how many listings?
How many listings approximately would you suggest for a digital download wall art shop? At least one.
At least one. It depends on what you're selling and how you're selling it, what your niche is. If you have a very specific niche, then having 15, 20 items might actually be perfectly fine. If you're a lot more general, or you're just selling things for kids' playrooms, then you're going to probably have 100 listings or 200 listings, because it's a lot more general, and there's a lot more ideas and things that you could do with that. Versus a very niche down thing, you don't necessarily need that much. So that's one of those things that's going to greatly vary.
Yep. Did you see another question?
Sharon asked if there is a UK only handmade marketplace. Does anyone know?
Folksy.
Yeah, I was about to say Folksy. I believe that's UK only.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any others really that are like at the level that matter, I guess I should say.
Yeah. Yeah. Things have come and gone, but the fact that you can't name them, like who Sharon was asking, the fact you can't name them, it's because nobody knows about them. Folksy is the biggest, and it's been running since 2008 or 2009.
Yeah.
So it's still going. Yeah, everyone heard your chitching there, Brian.
It happens. So. I forgot to turn my volume off.
Hey, no one's complaining.
Jillian said, how much of my listing descriptions are actually being generated in search with SEO? None of them. So Etsy does use your description to understand the words in your title and tags. It doesn't necessarily take your description and use that as SEO terms. If you have terms in your description that aren't in your title or tags, your listing will not be found through Etsy search for those terms, because Etsy doesn't actually use it as an SEO field. It uses it as more of an SEO helper field to put into context the words that you have everywhere else. So your title is, what is it? Your tags are everything about it, what's its origin and everything like that. And your description is, can you use it in a sentence? So it's almost like a spelling bee in that sense, where it's just kind of understanding what everything is, but not using the words directly.
Yep. I think we're nearly at the bottom. We're pretty much out of time, because I'm going to have to run, because I'm going live on my own channel to cover the visibility report. But I did see one I just wanted to cover. Oh, this, well, not cover, we can't cover it, but my friend's taken an Etsy class. She told me eRank can suggest more personalized keywords for your specific shop, but she didn't remember. Can you explain how? We don't have time just now. That's a really big question, but what you can do, in the description of this video, there's a link to the Facebook group. If you join our Facebook group and ask in there, then people will be able to help, or come back next week. Some of us will be here next week, and we'll hopefully be able to help you with the questions. But yeah, that's all we've got time for. So guys, and Brian, thank you so much. Everyone, thanks for joining us. And yeah, we'll be back next week. We might be doing reviews next week. But yeah. And don't forget, if you haven't joined the Facebook group, it's in the description below. Thank you so much, guys, and see you next time.
Bye, everyone.